Hey guys, today we're on the second part of how to quickly climb solo queue, and last time we did the pre-game stuff, so now we're on the in-game stuff. The first thing we're going to do is look at what winning kind of actually includes, and then we're going to be looking at some specifics for you guys to focus on. I'm also sorry that I haven't been uploading as much recently, but I've been really busy, and I'm at Wembley this weekend for the quarterfinals for Worlds, so if you guys are there, make sure you come and find me. So when you're in a game of League, what actually makes the difference? Like, what makes you win? And I think there are really three areas. I'm going to show you them on screen with how important each one is. So the first one is game knowledge, and really simply it's the ability to work out what the right thing to do is. So the right thing, like, should I freeze in my lane, or should we go to Baron or Dragon, that kind of thing. Second thing is mechanics, the ability to actually do the right thing once you've worked it out, or just react. So things like flashing to dodge something, or maybe just trying to actually fight someone, actually pulling the right abilities in the right order. Third thing is going to be your social stuff and your mindset. So you have to have the right mindset to win, you have to not get frustrated, and you have to be able to deal with difficult players. Now this one is a kind of a weird one that needs a bit more explanation, but honestly, like, it's a team game, right? League is a game where you're matched with 4 other people, and you have to work with those 4 other people to actually win a game. This means that you need some kind of social skills or some ability to talk to those other players to get them on your side and to actually work with them efficiently. So mechanics and social mindset, those are kind of self-explanatory, but game knowledge is a bit more in depth, and a lot of game knowledge stuff can actually be worked on outside of the game or before the game has even started, like what we looked at in part 1 of this series. Things like masteries, runes, item builds will come into this a lot, like you can see on screen, but the biggest thing is going to be your decision making in game. The point I'm trying to make is that you can make this a lot easier for yourself by covering that like 40% of information needed before you even get into the game. So I've just said decision making is really important, right? But it's kind of a broad area, I guess, so we're going to give you some examples of the things that you need to be thinking about. So for a laner, it'll be things like wave control. Should you push? Should you let them push? Or should you keep it even? This is going to be important for how your lane plays out, and it actually has more impact than people realize. If you aren't sure how it works, then I'm going to put my freezing guide down below as well. Second thing, trading. Like, you can trade at any time, obviously, but there is a best time or best situation to trade. Like, a very simple way of looking at it is you want to trade when the enemy can't trade back with you. Okay, that's kind of dumb and really obvious, but the easiest and most common way, I guess, you're going to do this is when their main ability is on cooldown. If it's on cooldown, they can't use it on you and you're good to go. The third kind of biggest thing, I guess, for a laner would be roaming. Like, the best way to win a solo queue game has always been to get a lead in your lane and then move around the map and use that lead to affect other lanes. So those are the general kind of areas you want to focus on to win a game. You want your game knowledge, your mechanics, and your mindset. But let's go into a bit more detail about stuff that will actually help you climb really quickly. So first thing, farming. This one is pretty obvious, but you focus on farming first. It doesn't matter if you die, it doesn't matter if you kill your opponent, your farm is like your safety net to make sure you can always still carry a game no matter what happens early. Now if you want to climb out of whatever elo you are, whether you're bronze, you're silver, whether you're even diamond, the first step is always to farm better than your opponent. Now this part you probably won't believe me, and you know what, that's fine, like, you don't have to, just go into a game and try it and you'll actually see it works. Most people, especially after playing their first game, will autopilot the early lane phase and not really think about what's going on or what they're doing. This is the habit you want to break. You want to think more. It really sounds dumb, but concentrate and your farm will be so much better, while you'll also be able to control the wave and trade better too. Now that ties nicely into the next thing, so trading. If you want to climb quickly, then you need to make your opponent's life difficult and start winning your lane. It's like once we have our base level right with our farming, we can then start to add more on top of it to increase our chances of winning. The first one is going to be trading. So trading is the easiest way of winning your lane. You will get control, which means you farm under no pressure, you will force them to miss CS, and you might even get a kill as well. The way I try and put this is, like, farm should really come first, but every time you aren't having to use an auto for CS, then you should really be looking at if you can trade or if you can pressure your opponent. So next thing, game plan. Have some kind of early cheese ready or an idea of what you want to do in the game. Now I'm going to give you 2 examples. Actually, I'm going to give you 3 because I love to spoil you guys. So bot lane, push and get level 2 first so you can go really aggressive and get a kill. And this is so easy to set up. Just tell your support before your lane starts so you are both ready to go. Mid lane, you can go for a level 6 kill. Now if you play it correctly and you force them to base and miss a wave, you will definitely get level 6 first. When you're close to level 6, you harass them down a bit, and then as soon as you level up, you go nuts and you can get the kill with your ultimate. A final example for a jungler, and this one is really easy to pull off as well. Start your bottom side buff with a smiteless leash from your bot lane and then go and invade. Not all junglers, but a lot of them get low in the jungle now, and this is a a very easy way to sneak in, wait for them to take some damage, steal their buff with your smite, and then go and kill them. So those 3 examples are all things like early into the game, and it doesn't have to be early things, but remember that you're effectively playing a best of 1. So every game is a new game. If you have something there ready to get you ahead, then you're always going to set yourself up to get an advantage. In more general terms, this can just be things like remember to roam after I push, or less focus on ganking bot lane this game, just things to give you something to aim for. Now another way of putting this, like things to aim for, is having more impact in the game, so pick something to focus on. Now I did a pretty in-depth video on this, so I'm going to pop that down in the description, but this is really important to climbing quickly. Now a big problem that all of you probably have, including myself, is sometimes I just don't really do anything. I'm not likely to be the reason my team loses, like I'm not going to feed my ass off, but I'm not going to be the reason we win either, and for solo queue that's not really good enough. This whole idea revolves around picking one thing, whether it's your ultimate, an item, just some sort of cooldown, and every time it's available you look around and you try and use it. The best example I can give you is something like Rengar. Every time your ultimate is available, you should look around the map, see where you can use it, and then go there and use it as soon as possible. Basically making you consciously think, okay, I need to use this right now, means that you will do way more in a game and you will win a lot more as well. The final thing is more aimed at this social or mindset, and it's focus on yourself and not your team, and actually be nice to your teammates. This is a team game, okay? Sometimes your team is gonna suck, you can't avoid it, but sometimes your team will be great. The one variable or the one thing that's always gonna be the same is you. As hard as it is, and as frustrating as it might be, you just have to focus on yourself, your gameplay, your performance, and try not to worry about the other players. This is a question I get asked all the time, like what do I do if my top laner is feeding his ass off? And well, if your top laner dies, instead of looking at it and thinking, fuck that guy, why do I always get feeders, just think, okay, he's having a bad game and I need to play even better to try and carry him. I said this before, but you will lose games, like a lot of games, and that is 100% gonna happen. You cannot avoid losing. So instead of getting frustrated at losing a game, just like look at your performance and ask yourself, did you deserve to win? If it's a yes, then good, it's not that big of a deal. Like if you keep playing that way, then you will climb eventually. If the answer is no, then why not? What went wrong? What do you need to fix? So hopefully that gives you a really good idea of what you want to focus on when you're trying to climb to your next border for the end of this season. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, remember to like and subscribe. And as always, I'll catch you in my next video.